Right guys, welcome back to our hair tutorial here at Hunter Collective. Today we've got James in, and James, we've just had a quick chat on the couch, and James has asked for a 0.5 on the back and side, so nice high fade on the back and side, going down to a 0.5. But he was just telling me then, he used to have his hair a lot longer and kind of swept back. But we were talking about styling it differently. So he normally just comes in, asks for it a little bit longer, play around with it, a little bit of texture, whatnot, a little bit smooth, bring these forward here and across, which, yeah, looks great. It'll work really well, suits James as well. But what we thought we could do today is show you how to style it up a little bit differently with the same haircut. So what we suggested was trying to emphasise a bit of curl in James's hair, or create more curl in James's hair, by using a diffuser and salt spray. So we had a chat, we thought that'd be quite a good idea. So this is it's quite a good challenge as well, because his hair isn't generally curly. So it'll be quite a nice challenge for me to try and create a lot more movement, a lot more curl in there. So I'll talk you through how I'll cut that, but I will be doing essentially the same haircut on James, just another way of styling it. So this is a good one for anybody who fancies doing something a bit different on the weekends from when they go to work in the week. So if you normally wear it quite smart in the week, you can wear it a little bit more messy, a bit more, I don't know, a bit more, slightly more curl in there if you want. So generally a lot more textured. So I think that'd be a good way to showcase this today. But obviously we're going to try and work in with the head shape, keeping it nice and square, and just try and create a lot of length and a lot of texture in the top as well. So trying to generally keep the same haircut, but just style it two different ways.
It's mental. I used to have it so long, and now, like,
just can't imagine it being any longer.
Yeah, growing it out, it's like such an awkward sort of feeling.
I know,
it's like,
mine's long today because I was going to get mine cut on Monday, but I just couldn't find the time to go. Like, my mate does it, and I just couldn't find the time to find on our diary to match.
Yeah.
But actually, kind of spent a bit of time on it this morning. I kind of like it. Yeah. I'm enjoying it a bit longer now. I end up keeping it a bit longer this time around enough as well.
It's good, man.
Let YouTube decide, mate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know, yeah. Should Dan shave it off? Don't say that. So I've got my number 2, and I'm just going to graduate down into my 0.5. So normally with the skin fade, I tend to put my guideline in with a 0.5. I tend just to work down in guards. Just find it quite seamless, works well for me, so that's why I do it. So I'm looking at the point where I'm going to take this off. So I want to do quite a high blend point here, to really show off the length and the shape on the top as well. So I'm going to start with my number 2, just roughly about here, and then I've got the area to blend, and then just work gradually down to my 0.5 being about here, and then just slightly dropping it at the back, and then working it a bit higher up through the sides into the temple as well. So my number 2's done. I'm working on to my 1.5 now. I'm going to use this now. I'm going to come up and off into my number 2. So again, the shape of when you do it, in and coming off into the 2, just creates that little bit more of a seamless blend. So that's my 1.5 done. Now onto my 1. Flip the lever, close guard, flicking off into my 1.5. As you can see, I'm leaving a line of hair where I know where I want to start my 0.5 as well, or end my 0.5 and to also almost start as well. So there is my number 1 done. I'm going to move to in between a 1.5 and a 1, just right in the middle, and that is just to blend a little bit more fine-tuned, should I say, my 1 into my 1.5. So just starting where my 1 ended, I'm just going to use the corner, it's like say half of the blade. I'm just going to run it and just kind of almost flick it off like that, and that just helps that graduation and just that fine-tuning of my blend from the 1 into the 1.5. I'm going to take my 1.5 guard off, onto my half guard, I want to do, I'm going to start from the bottom and work right up and off, just from where that longer hair finishes. Just looking where the beard starts. Do it usually from just like where the side bends, the beard sort of starts here. So I'm gonna do about that point there. Half in. Try and leave a nice line for the blend point later.
Some good grey bits coming through. Got a little tuft coming on in my beard.
So I haven't really noticed it too much. That is my 0.5 finished. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use it on an open, so like a 0.75, and I'm going to just fine tune the blend from the 0.5 into the 1. So I'm just looking at this, just trying to fine tuning the darker patches, just to give that a more of a seamless look to it, and just perfect the blend. So tapering James's neck. So on a 0, just going to click up and off and just taper this in. Right, so we're going to move on to blending the 2 and creating the shape on the sides now. No. Yeah, I know that one, yeah. Bentall Centre, yeah.
That's it, yeah. And
oh, nice. That's always good, yeah. So that's my clip over comb finished. 2 into the blend point here. Still left a little bit of length through here though, because I want to like kind of square this haircut off. Yeah. So we go for the beard shape as well. It really gives that angle to the beard as well. Now I'm going to fine tune the blend points from the 0.5 into the 2, just using my scissor and my size 1 comb as well. Move back onto my 0.5 side of the comb. This is a really small tooth, fine tooth, and just work that 0.5 into the 1. There's that done. So I'm going to move on to edging the hair now and sharpening this off. Let's add a nice bit of shape into this as well. That falls nice into that arch of the beard. As you can see, his hairline, you can already see his natural line, so you don't want to cut too far into that. I personally don't like to cut too far into necklines, so I'm just going to sharpen off that natural curve around the ear and just give it a bit more of a straighter line to his neckline. So then flick off into the 0 on the neck with the minis to continue on with that taper. So that's the back and sides done. I've created a nice shape through the sides here. I've left a little bit of weight through here so I can blend it in. We will refine this blend point here once the top's cut into it. But again, this is pretty much done now, so we'll move on into the top. So I've wet the top down as it's easier to section and easier to cut when it's wetter on the top. So I'm going to do basically what James asked for. But again, it comes down to starting at the end, which is we're going to change it around a little bit. So what James likes to do is a little bit more length through his corner. He likes to bring it forward, brush this up, and just kind of have the back a bit messy. So we're going to do exactly that. Now, how short do you want to take the fringe, James?
whatever you think in your experience, I'm trusting you, my friend.
I would say, well, it's quite thinned out towards the ends here.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's a lot of kind of, it's almost becoming like it's not really going to do much, that'll just
Yeah.
fall and flop.
Yeah.
So what I'd probably do is kind of put that back just a bit more healthier, a bit more kind of like all more uniform a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'd probably take about that much off. That's alright.
Cool, yeah.
Cool. And then I'll balance it all up from the back as well. All right. Obviously, I'm going to try and create a bit of curl in James's hair. So if I was cutting, if he did have curly hair, I wouldn't be point cutting through the curly hair. I'd be using what we call club cuts or uniform cuts straight across. The curl creates its own texture. If you start point cutting it, it tends to kind of fray the ends and just doesn't give that kind of same effect. So because we're trying to utilise two different looks here, it's totally fine to point cut into this because it still won't have texture when he wears it without diffusing the hair or without adding any curl to it as well. And just graduate it a tiny bit short towards the crown, nothing too crazy. We're not looking for too much height at the fringe, we're looking for a bit more of a kind of similar length all the way through. You always naturally go a touch short towards the crown for the profile, for the silhouette from the side, but I'm not going mega short or anything. Actually, not much is going to come off now. No. So what I've done there, just slightly over direct the fringe back, as he wants to kind of bring a little bit of length forward here as well. So I'm just over directing that slightly back, just to maintain a little bit more length through this corner here, and then just put this blend point in here as well. So we're not cutting it into one particular style, we're cutting it into two styles almost, so I don't want to be starting to create any asymmetry through this or leaving one side along the other. That'll complement one hairstyle yet not really kind of complement the other one. So we're just going with a very nice sort of uniform finish, a lot of shape, a lot of texture in there, and just allows James to style it in two different ways. You can see the way as it gets dry, you start to see that little movement to the fringe there, so it starts to fill in this bit here, make it look really strong as well. And now James wants a little bit of length, but as you can see, it's starting to get very wispy through here. Just where it's been maybe thinned out or whatever, maybe overly texturized from the previous haircut. Nothing wrong with that, it just might not be what we're looking for today. I'm just going to strengthen this up a little bit, so you'll start to see it start to get a little bit weaker there. So I'm just going to bring it down to the most common length and just cut into that a little bit as well. I'll cut into this a little bit just to fine tune, cross check. And I think with that, kind of done. We'll dry it through first without the diffuser, nice and straight, as you would wear it more time in the week. It's got a lot of hair, but it's fine textured hair. So you can't really feel it's wet because it thins out more. So when I go to texturising this type of hair, I always do it dry, as I can pick and choose where I feel as though I need to add texture or thinning out or whatever. So now I've dried that off, I can feel these corners feel a bit heavy. Because obviously we're trying to leave a bit more length in this, especially for the corner, so we've got a blend. It still feels a bit heavy, so I want to cut into them. But they felt the same when they were wet, so that's again why I dry it off. So now I can pick and choose where I want it. So I'll pick it up, and I can just point cut straight in, nice and deep. So I'm maintaining length, but I'm just starting to take thickness out as well. Just working slightly lower down now. Angling my body as well. And that feels a lot much more balanced. It's nice and full. Still got a bit of length in there that we can play around with. So James, generally wear it like this in the week. Bit of product in,
that's it,
as it is, yeah? Is that right, yeah? Hang on. So I nailed that cut for him that he wanted. That is what he's going to do every day. But I thought, you know, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's give him two different looks from the same haircut. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wet it down. And I put some salt spray in it. So I'm using the Regal Gentleman salt spray. I'm gonna work this in with my fingers like this, and just spraying in the area that I want to do, that I basically want to create curling. So pretty much all over the top. Doesn't taste too bad neither, you know. So what was that, 6 or 7 sprays maybe? So now I've got my diffuser nozzle. You can get all different various size. This is the one that fits this one, so I'm using this. Now this helps to create the curl. It circulates the heat to create the curl. So you want to scrunch James's hair through with the salt spray. So the salt spray is going to be used as like a setting spray to create this curl. But what you need to do when you're doing something like this is you don't really overload the product. The whole point of the curl is to sort of move around freely in the way it wants to. So as you can see, when it's a bit wetter, it's got a little bit more bend, a little bit of curl to it. So I'm going to enhance that with a diffuser. So low speed, high heat, and just scrunch. Scrunch it in all different angles. James is looking for something a lot more messy, a lot more textured on the weekends. Again, he's not in a suit, turned up in a suit today. This probably wouldn't work as well with a suit, so he's in his t-shirt, jeans, or whatever he's wearing, his tracksuit or whatever. This starts to really create that nice bit of movement. Good thing is, it's amazing, isn't it? It really is. Good thing is though as well, it adds thickness as well. Salt spray has that thicker feel to it. The curl will create that more thicker feel and thicker look as well. But it's a really noticeable difference as well from when it was smooth and brushed over to one side. And just twisting it through my fingers to make it bunch together and create that more curl. And then I'm going to finish on cold air. This will set the style in. Stop it from frizzing, stop it from losing the curl. I'm just holding it from a bit more of a height, it's not too direct. And this is just to set the look that we're for, so a much more heavily textured look, even though we haven't texturized the hair. Do you see what I mean? So we're creating a very different look just by using a different tool on a product. And that's pretty much it. And then obviously you can fine tune it yourself, but you've got that thicker feel to it, that more kind of crunch in there as well from the salt spray. That just creates a bit more of a more natural finish to the hair. And that's it. Don't need to touch it, don't need to do anything with it, don't need any hairspray, any more product on there as well. Anything else, because we're creating something that isn't as natural as what it would be for James. The more product you put on, the more it's going to weigh it down, the more it's going to stretch it out, and it's not going to stay as curly as what we're after. So yeah. Simple as that, James. Amazing. But it's a different look for you as well.
Yeah,
so it's two different
looks.
looks.
Like a dry beachy.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly it. It is probably the most natural you'll get. But once you're using a diffuser, because obviously when you've got a nozzle on it, you're blasting hair through to create like certain looks. So if you're gonna go for like when you see girls get that kind of wave, the roll on the brush with blasting the heat at it. Where we're not looking for that, we're looking for something very natural, very sort of kind of like it's a beachy in a sense, like, you know what I mean?
And it's cool sort of guidance in terms of the cold air afterwards.
Oh right, okay, you didn't, yeah,
little things like that sort of really.
A lot of guys don't know that, yeah. It's that is the thing that sets it. Even if not even using a diffuser, just using any nozzle, or even without a nozzle, blow dry it with cold air. Not only does it set it, when you apply more product. So let's say you have my look. So I blow dried my hair this morning. I use a round brush and I blow dried through with a bit of the Regal Gentleman Soft Spray for that hold, and then I apply the product on top, right? But if I hadn't put the cold air button on it, the hair would be so hot it would melt the product. So again, all that effort of blow drying my hair for it to flop. I did this at like 8:30 this morning. I had nothing else, no hairspray or nothing, and as you can see, look, it moves around. So, but that if I had put it out when it was really hot, the product would have melted through, and it wouldn't have lasted as long. So you did all that effort, 10-15 minutes blow drying it for nothing, basically. So yeah. You happy with it?
Yeah, amazing.
Awesome.
Really
Thank you very much, James, man. Thank you.
Yeah, because I've used the old like dust.
Oh yeah, that does a similar thing. It's just very dry though.
Yeah, and I guess that is kind of more of a gives you a chance to work with it a bit longer because the dust gets stiff, doesn't it, after?
They do. See, the dusts are really good though. They are good products, right? For different looks. So I'd use a dust more so for me if I wanted a super matte finish, or I want to add thickness to my hair. Now I don't need that. I want to reduce the thickness really. But when you're doing something like this with a dust, is that it's too dry. And I think when you are drying something in, it needs to be a spray or a lotion. If it's a, you can use clays. Don't get me wrong. You can use certain clays and creams to dry in, but it's much heavier. That's more for like sort of like me. Who's got that thickness and it absorbs it. If I put a dust on, a dust has to be used dry. So you're kind of almost defeating the purpose of blow drying if you can add something else to it. Now, if you want to add some more thickness to your hair, by all means, crack on and use a dust. So to recap, what we did was we went down to 0.5 on the back and sides. We kept the blend sort of mid-height. I wear a U-shaped pattern on the top to separate that and lowered it down a touch at the crown because I wanted to preserve a bit of length around here to balance the two looks really. But I worked down in guards, so I started on my 2 and then down into my 0.5, leaving the guide of longer hair to know where to start. Blend that in, fine-tuned it, and then cut into the top. But again, just did the look that James came in for. We never came in looking for a particular look. He just wanted what he normally has done, which is great. So I like doing a regular clients, even for a video. But I said to him, well, why don't we look at trying to create a different look to this? So more than having that kind of flatter, brushed over, nice and smooth look that you'd normally go for, let's use a different tool, which is a diffuser, and your Regal Gentleman top spray to give that extra kind of hold and also to help shape this new look. So I'd say this is the weekend look for James. So he's just told me he does a lot of sports, he's doing boxing. This would naturally probably happen if he did put a diffuser on after he'd be in the gym. This would be the look that he'd go for. It's effortless, it's easy to style, it takes minimal effort. Again, when you're in work, you probably want to, like James is very professional, so he wants to have something professional as well. This probably wouldn't really work in some ways, so he can wear it a different way through work, but it's the same style. It's cut the same way, it's just styled out differently, using a different product. So what we did was we cut it in, all pretty much uniform, slightly short towards the crown. Naturally kind of happens when you get creating that profile look. Left a little bit longer through these corners here, because that's what he requested. He likes that look, he likes that kind of brush forward, a little bit up off the fringe. So we did that, but then we utilised the diffuser to create this finished look of more messy and more curly hair. It's the easiest thing to do. It was literally, as you'll see, salt spray, diffuser, scrunch, done. That is literally it. You could spend a lot longer if you want to. I probably spent more time on it because that's what I'm like, but if he was doing it at home, he could just diffuser, scrunch his hair, and it's done, right? We trimmed it into the beard as well, blended that down into it, so a little bit of freehand to create that shape for him, just to help him out more than doing a full beard trim, because he's got a nice full beard, he wants to keep that. So I just helped him out just so he doesn't have to try to tempt it himself. And then trimmed his neck down, and that's pretty much it. So you happy?
Amazing.
Awesome, man.
I need to get out.
And you weren't paid to say amazing though?
No. I need to get out salt spray for sure.
Yeah, not a problem. It's out soon, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's a finished look for you.
I'll chuck the dust and get on that.
Give it a go, mate.
Yeah,
give it a go.
definitely.
So as you can see, there's the blend for you, and as you can see, just see the way the curl is really super thick as well on the top.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So it's just different, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it is the same hairstyle. So
like
tomorrow you can do it.
You have a couple of choices for sure.
Yeah.
And that technique is amazing.
Definitely. I always think being able to do two different looks is a good thing. I mean, I know there's times like this morning, I was tempted just to put a bit of pomade in and side part it, just because it's just very hard to style at the moment. But I can do that because of the way mine's been cut, so I can pop a pomade in it and just find my partner and style it that way.
Yeah.
It's hard when you've got your look because you could do that, but I think with your hair, you don't want to have something too wet on your hair either. Like you said at the start when you came in, you want a dry look, which again, this is the driest you can get.
Yeah.
So I think being able to style it in two different ways is a good thing for you. It's a good thing to break up your look. And I don't think it's a bad thing being able to style your hair a few different ways.
Yeah,
it takes the boredom out of styling hair, because we all get bored, you know?
It makes it fun during the week.
Yeah, it does.
So the weekend,
you look forward to kind of looking a bit different. I know I do. I know when I'm in work, I sort of dress like this, but on the weekends, or even just through the week when I'm at home, I wear anything. I don't even sometimes put product through my hair, but that's the look that I like to come to work, style my hair, get it looking proper professional and ready. Where through the week I can just kind of put a bit of again, a bit of salt spray or something through it, just scrunch it through and leave it and let it form your face, for example. It becomes enjoyment to style it.
Definitely.
And I hope this is another way to make you enjoy styling your hair as well. So
I think the whole process of using the diffuser, the salt spray, and then the technique of you saying put the cold air on it to freeze.
It's great, isn't it?
That's going to be my process.
Awesome.
That's going to be my method,
great.
definitely.
And the thing is, you can pick up diffusers super cheap online as well.
Yeah.
Like you can get universal ones that fit any hairdryer as well. That's one of them as well. So that's a universal. That's a Parlux hairdryer. I think that's just a universal nozzle. Yeah. So it wasn't a Parlux diffuser. You know what I mean? So you don't have to buy the one for the hairdryer you've got. So like say you've got a hairdryer at home, which most people do. Just go on eBay and get a diffuser, get a universal diffuser, and there's your style done when it arrives. You know what I mean?
I'll wait for the product to come through.
I'll wait for the product to come through. That's Liam's job, you know. But that's what I mean. It's just a simple thing to do. And I'm glad you got some advice on the back end.
Yeah, no, it's been super amazing advice. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, James. Thank you. There we go.